Hello and welcome back to Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts. Alright. The recently refit Montana class super uber battleships facing off against a torpedo boat. I'm not gonna auto-resolve this because I know what happens when I auto-resolve it. The game decides that the torpedo boat damages all my ships and they have to spend like a year in dock repairing. So we're not going to do that. Already firing. Let's see. Do I want this torpedo boat? No, it's not fast enough anyway. And the reason I'm not refitting these torpedo boats that are just not fast enough to catch up with the Chinese ones is because I just don't think it's possible to make them that fast. Because their final speed depends on like the hull shape. I just don't think the American torpedo boat hulls are capable of being as fast as the Chinese ones. They kind of just maxes out at, okay, I think that torpedo boat is dead. Because it just took 60,000 damage. And there it took another, what was it? A lots of damage. Like 120? 130? Yeah. Anyway, it's dead. It did not damage my entire task force. Right, what's next? Smolensk. Oh, finally a battle against a Russian ship. 12 Apostolov class battleship. 90,000 tons, 30 knot top speed, almost 3 billion cost. And for all of that, you get 6 12.6 inch guns. Alright. Let's see if let's actually see if the Minnesota can take her on alone. Minnesota is worth 862 versus almost 3 billion. Yeah. I still think the Minnesota is the better ship. Although I don't know. They're probably Mark V guns, so they should have decent range and a very high rate of fire. So, curious to see how that ship looks. It's the first time we're fighting the Russians in a very, very long time. Since the 1920s, I think. Wow, that looks funky. You know, Russia, I did design some ships for you. You should build those. And I've got a huge task force, which I am not interested in micromanaging. So we're just gonna send most of this chaff home. Torpedoes off. Wow, that's a lot of DDs. Yeah, everything is heading home. Philippines and Cuba. You can't actually go alone. You can stick with it. I think Minnesota is gonna be main firepower here. Are you running away or coming towards me? You're coming to fight. Let's take a look at this Russian contraption. That's a lot of ship. Just to carry around 6 12-inch guns. And some secondaries. Like, that's stupid. Like, why can these change places so the secondary doesn't block the main gun turret? But, okay. That's how it is. Yeah, as I said, that's a lot of ship for not a lot of bang. They're paying a lot of bucks for not much bang. That's what I'm trying to say. But we're gonna see what kind of armor it has. Can consider this some kind of a recon mission. It's already firing at my battlecruisers. My battlecruisers have elected to fire HE. My battleship has elected to fire HE. Oh. No, it's firing AP. It can't make up its mind. Partial pen, over pen. Philippines has taken a hit. They've also been damaged from before, but he's only taken 600 damage. There we go, finally some flooding. Only 24-kilometer range on her 12-inch guns. That's not exactly amazing. Okay, I want you to fire AP, because I know you can pen lots of things with those 16-inch guns. There we go. That's more like it. %, identified. After it. Don't let it escape. Starting to rack up the flooding now. You don't have torpedoes, do you? Could very well have torpedoes, but I don't think it does. Smolensk. It is identified. Many bulkheads, spacious quarters. Decent armor. 15.6 main belt. 6.3 main deck. Superstructure is a little light. It does have citadel armor, with actually a very respectable first inner deck. I don't think deck penetration is gonna be possible on this with most of my guns. Other than that, it's got radar generation 2, tourney KC armor, triple bottom, geared turbines 2, citadel 5, cap ballistic 2 AP, super heavy shells. Okay, so they're gonna hit quite hard despite only being 12.6 inches. That is 827 AP damage. Yeah, that's still quite a bit short of my 1912 AP damage from the 16s. What kind of shells do I have on these? Standard. Yeah. What's the difference between a 12-inch and a 6-inch gun? 16-inch gun. So don't let anyone tell you that 4 inches won't make a difference. Yeah, Smolensk is taking big time flooding damage now. Minnesota is also taking quite a bit of damage. But not as much as she is dishing out. Let's get a screenshot going. I think that could work. Yeah, she has decent pen on those guns. But yeah, she's mostly just going through the extended belt on the Minnesota. Doesn't really have the... hang on. I know why the penetration is seeming a little bit low. It's because I was recording a game in vanilla for Shipyard Champions, so I adjusted the penetration data. Now, yeah, could potentially go through my my belt. Let's angle the Minnesota a little bit. Let's just go bow in. Wow, she just came to a sudden halt. Smolensk sinks. Heavy flooding. Alright. So Minnesota took a bit of a beating there. But I think she's okay. Huh. Peace treaty, we are winning. I sunk 1 battleship. Yeah. Not gonna let you give up that easily. Let's see here. Convoy mission with battle cruisers. That is quite decent. We're actually advancing quite well into southern England. It's the Guam, Alaska class, Tulsa, Baltimore class, a DD-45, versus a Lord Clyde class battlecruiser. That's the one with the 17.3-inch guns. A couple of DDs and 1 transport. Alright. So, 14-inch guns versus 17.3. Not only do they have bigger guns, they have twice as many. Let's see how this goes. It's pretty much an even fight. How close are we? That is quite close. Well, let's see. Tulsa, you're gonna target the DDs. Guam, you're of course gonna target the battlecruiser. Yeah, let's get those torpedoes in the water. Why are you switching targets? What's happening? Why are you switching targets? Never mind the transport. You can sink that later. I think it's sinking now, though. Are you gonna get those torpedoes in the water? Yeah, the transport sank. I'm assuming they have their torpedoes in the water. Okay, so that battlecruiser is actually just retreating out of range. So I'm gonna go ahead and kill those DDs first. Let's see, there we go, my DD is scoring hits on the enemy DD. Fine, just get your torpedoes in the water against something. Because you're getting out of here. Why are you firing HE? I think my DD is safe. There we go. You'll launch torpedoes at something. Possibly the Tulsa? Yeah, that's one dead DD. Votary sinks. Now, just the enemy battlecruiser left. If I recall correctly, it's a very fast ship. I think it's faster than the Guam. I think it's got a top speed of like 39 knots. 36.9, okay, so it's not really that much faster than Guam. Oh yeah, 1.4 main deck. That's your major weakness. The range of 25 kilometers. I cannot HE pen it at that range. get out to 30 kilometers. You can actually HE pen your main deck. So my ship has better armor, but they've got much bigger guns. Finally scoring some flooding. Let's bring the cruiser back. It's probably too slow to catch up unless I get some flooding hits on the Enterprise. Enterprise, that's one of my ships. You can't name it that. Range is 24 kilometers. No armor quality, 92. Let's see, it's a game of rate of fire versus weight of fire. Reload time 37.9 seconds, that's actually not bad. I've got 22.3. They've got their first proper Citadel pen now with the engine gone. Guam keeps pumping out those shots. Yeah, we both have minus 50 damage instability. Doesn't really take much. And I think that's it for the Enterprise. Yep, that's it. Not bad. It's actually impressive how much of a ship they get for only 624 million. I mean, it's cheaper than Guam, and it's got, well, it's got 16 7.3 inch guns. And quite decent speed. It's just the armor that's lacking, but if they just rearranged it a little bit so the main deck was thicker, maybe at the cost of the fore and aft deck, then it would actually be a very good ship. Alright, got 2 more battles and another convoy mission, so plenty of things happening this turn. Alright, 1-on-1 with a Russian battleship, 3-on-3 with Russian light cruisers. And here we go, torpedo boat on torpedo boat. TB-46 class, 37 knots. It's the 37.7 knot Y3 class. I could not make these torpedo boats faster than 37 knots without cost and displacement just ballooning. So that's got to be just a hull issue. So if their torpedo boat wants to run away, yeah, I cannot stop it. It's a night battle. But we're gonna get the transport at least. That is very close. That was the transport. No, that was the torpedo boat. Just came straight at me and got whacked. Okay, let's maneuver a little bit in case it did launch torpedoes before sinking. I don't think it did. So now we're gonna run into the transport anytime now. They are. There we go. It can be hard to spot. You got low detectability rating. At least they're very slow, so they're not going to be running away. They can hide, but they can't run. Good job, 4611. Alright. Let's do a battleship battle. New Jersey. Oh yeah, I sent them into port for repair, and I was planning on refitting them, just giving them some different ammo and stuff. But now they're getting dragged into battle. Huh. Which could potentially mean that they're just never gonna get refit because they're gonna get dragged into battle each turn and then repaired and then battle the next turn. Okay. Let's fight. It's a one-on-one. Could be exciting. Let's go. Let's see, the enemy is not spotted. The enemy is spotted. Range 24 kilometers. They're gonna be firing AP, I think. Get some of those pens in. There we go. Getting some flooding. They're scoring flooding too. What I want to do is I want to turn bow in. And then reverse. Like that. .5 second reload. That's pretty good for a 16. Enjoying my bow tanking. It's just like World of Warships. I don't want the New Jersey to take too much damage because I do want her refit. She has to be fully repaired to go into refit. This is the original, the name giver of the class. Yeah, I should have a very decent chance of penetrating your main belt. No, you do have a citadel belt. Oh, kind of forgot about that. What kind of turret armor do you have? 17, 16, 8. Let's see. They are only Mark 4 12-inch guns? I would have thought they had Mark 5 12-inch by now. Maybe this ship is not brand new? We're gonna open up the range a bit, see if we can get some of those deck penetrations. I got the heavier gun, so I've got a big advantage at longer range. I'm actually doing 29 knots in reverse. Their ship is actually heavier than mine by almost 10,000 tons. And being a Russian super battleship, I think it has a much higher resistance bonus than my Iowas. Which is why it's not really taking that much damage. Main deck penetration for 200 damage. Yeah, that's I think that's because of that resistance stat. Like, the exact way it works is kind of a mystery, but I think it somehow reduces your damage taken. Take a couple more hits. Almost 30 kilometers now. This is where that deck penetration is starting to go up. What rate of fire did you have? 31.2 seconds. Okay, so my 16s actually fire faster than the 12s on the Russian ship. Let's bring my aft turret into action. Yeah, I'm still sailing backwards. 31.6 kilometers. I'm heading out of their range. There you go, you no longer have range. That's quite some acceleration on the New Jersey. We're just gonna stay out of their range. Not just so we don't take any damage, but also to maximize my main deck penetration. There we go, you have engine damage, rudder damage, flooding. Yeah, the further out you go, the better my deck penetration becomes. Main deck penetrations. "35 kilometers. That's 10.9 inches. At closer to 40, we're going to be looking at 13.4. And my AP goes out to 48 kilometers, which the table doesn't show that far out. But I can just assume it's even more. Of course, my accuracy will be going down at this kind of range. It's still decent. There we go. I think I got the magical accuracy now. 50% chance to hit. It was only 151 range pound bonus. Not like 3,000. Range is 42 kilometers. Okay, let's get a little bit closer so they don't actually escape from my line of sight. Also, I'm running out of AP. Yeah, the Iowas are to be refit with super heavy shells. Once that is possible. Of course, they have to be repaired first. There we go, main deck penetrations. Yeah, you're only going at 14.6 knots. It's not hard to catch up. One AP shell left, and then it's on to HE. Didn't think I'd run out of AP in a one-on-one. Did score a flooding hit though with that last AP shell. And it's now so low on structure that causing further flooding, even with HE, might be possible. This range, I'm gonna go through like 2 inches, 2.5 inches of armor with my HE. Which is actually enough for a 4-deck penetration. Are you sinking yet? It's listing heavily. Go to ×10. Actually end this. There we go, flooding. Alright. That ship could take a beating. But it went down. Alright. Let's see, New Jersey. How long are you? 6-month repair. Didn't take that much damage. Where are you being repaired? Here. 6-month repair for 30% damage. I think that's a bit much, but okay. Here we go. Light cruiser on light cruiser. Worcester, New Haven, and New Haven versus 3 Admiral Butakov. Alright. And Admiral Butakov 1940, which is very slow. So this is gonna slow down the rest of the formation. So the 1940 version had 5-inch guns. And the other ones had 6 point something. And it's a foggy, foggy day. Augusta, you are a little bit slower than the other ones. You can just follow, but not actually be part of the formation. Let's see, they have been spotted. Let's take a look. It's got 8 6-inch guns. That's the original version of the cruiser. Looks like a not terrible light cruiser. That's the refit with the 5-inch guns. Lots of torpedoes. The originals do not have lots of torpedoes. Alright. So we've spotted them, they have not spotted us. And firing has commenced. It could have underwater torpedoes, but doesn't seem like it. Chester. Little Rock. Augusta. Did you take a torpedo? You did. So I was not paying attention. Ammo detonation. And another ammo detonation. Okay, let's take a look. Yeah, the original version does not have torpedoes. It's got Mark 5 6-inch guns, 6.6 inch actually. Very little armor. Gen 1, Gen 2 radar, Gen 1 scout plane. Sonar 2, Citadel 3, Diesel 2. This guy has not been fully identified yet. Shemchug has surrendered. Koshun has surrendered. Are you still not identified? 97%. No. 100% just as she sank. So, no, did not get to identify it. See what kind of armor it had. Probably not that much better than the other ones. Okay. So that was that turn. Let's see. Refits. Any possible? Missouri can be refit. That's an 8-month refit process. I think I have a plan. Now my plan is, since this is an 8-month refit, what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna make a refit of the refit without changing anything, and I'm gonna see if that becomes less than 8 months, and then that can be applied directly. It's a little bit exploitative, but well, refit time 11 months? How can that be? That does not make sense. Okay. Why is it 11 months? That makes like no sense. when it's like nothing. Electrical 2 turrets. Make them a little bit lighter. Yeah, still an 11-month refit. I don't know why, but that's what it is. I can't really fit any of those. With that, yeah, I'm kind of at a loss here. Let's add a little bit more top armor to the turrets. Probably not a bad idea. Fine, I guess my Iowas are just gonna be out of commission for 11 months. Just to change the ammunition around. Some other minor things as well, but these are not exactly comprehensive refits. Alright, Missouri is being refit. It's yeah, it's an 11-month refit. A little bit longer than what this other refit would have been, but it does include a couple of technologies here that are like latent technologies, not components I add to the ship, but just Yeah, stuff making them better. Well, again, I could have done this next month and gotten even better things, like faster engines and so forth, but I'm getting stuff like every month, so you gotta do it sometime, right? See, I've got 2 more Iowas in the Yellow Sea. 74% chance to succeed. I could send them into port and refit those too, but they're kind of busy doing invasion things. United States is refit in 2 months, so she can also be added to this circle of life. Mostly death, I guess. And these to the what will be the task force. Yeah. But that's it for this episode. Yeah, we finally got to fight the Russians a little bit. I was hoping they had more stuff to send at me, like get some proper big battles going on. But nope. Oh, here we go. That's a task force. Battleship, 2 battlecruisers, 2 heavies, a light, 7 DDs, 4 torpedo boats. Nice. Can make things happen. Goodbye, and take care.